Are you over 60, eating well, staying active, and yet subtly losing strength, balance, or muscle tone? You might assume that muscle loss is simply part of aging, a sad inevitability. But here's what's really going on inside your body. A silent process called sarcopenia, the gradual decline of muscle mass and strength, accelerates as we age. Left unaddressed, it steals vitality, increases fall risk, weakens metabolism, and shortens healthy lifespan. This matters. If you lose muscle, you lose metabolic flexibility. You burn fewer calories, you feel fatigued, and your risk for insulin resistance, frailty, and chronic disease rises. You begin to feel your body shrinking around you, and simple daily tasks, rising from a chair, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, start to feel heavy. But what if I told you that even after 60, you can still rebuild muscle, reverse sarcopenia, and regain strength through everyday food? What the research shows is that certain cheeses, yes, cheese contain powerful nutrients that can tip the balance back toward muscle repair and growth. In this talk, we will explore 3 specific cheeses that are scientifically promising for over 60s who want to regain muscle and vitality. You will learn how, when, and why to use them, not as gimmicks, but as tools in a metabolic repair toolkit. We will discuss the precise physiology inside your body, how insulin, amino acids, hormonal signals, and muscle protein synthesis interact, why older muscle resists growth, and how the right nutritional strategy can overcome that resistance. Here's what you will take away. The root causes of age-related muscle loss, and what to fix first. How high-quality dietary proteins, especially from cheeses, stimulate muscle rebuilding. The specific 3 cheeses to choose and what makes them special. Timing, pairing, and portion strategies to maximize their benefit. How to layer in resistance exercise and lifestyle factors so that the cheese becomes a catalyst, not a crutch. A simple, doable protocol you can begin this week to begin restoring strength. You will walk away not with abstract theory, but with a clear, doable plan. Eat and pair these cheeses intelligently. Move strategically and let your body's own repair mechanisms do the rest. So let us begin by diving into the inner world of aging muscle so you can see why these cheeses matter and how they fit into the bigger picture of metabolic health and longevity. Let us begin with what is really happening inside your body as you age. After the age of 60, most people begin to lose muscle mass at a rate of about 1% per year. By the time we reach our 70s or 80s, this gradual decline can result in a loss of nearly 1/3 of our total muscle mass. But this is not simply old age. It is a metabolic shift, a failure of the muscle to respond to the body's natural growth signals. Here is the key concept: anabolic resistance. In your younger years, when you eat protein, the amino acids flood your bloodstream and your muscles respond by synthesizing new protein. It is an elegant system. Insulin and amino acids together activate a master switch in your cells called mTOR, which triggers muscle repair and growth. However, with age, this signal becomes weaker. Your muscles hear the growth message less clearly, even if you eat the same amount of protein you once did. Think of your muscle cells as a house that needs regular maintenance. When you are young, the repair crew responds quickly to every signal. But after 60, that crew starts showing up late, short-staffed, and with dull tools. The message to rebuild is still being sent, but the response is sluggish. That is anabolic resistance. Now, the good news is that this process can be reversed, but not with more calories and not with random protein shakes. It requires precision, giving the body the right amino acids in the right context so that the signal is amplified again. And this is where certain cheeses become uniquely powerful. Research published in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia and Muscle in 2024 highlighted that older adults who consume dairy proteins rich in leucine, a key amino acid found in abundance in whey and casein, experienced a measurable increase in muscle protein synthesis compared to those who consume plant-based proteins. Another study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that combining leucine-rich foods with light resistance exercise nearly doubled muscle building efficiency in participants over 65. So, what does this mean in real life? It means that the key to fighting sarcopenia is not only to eat enough protein, but to resensitize your muscles to that protein. And that begins by choosing foods that deliver concentrated, high quality amino acids in a form your body can easily absorb and use. Cheese, specifically aged and fresh varieties like Parmesan, Ricotta, and Cottage cheese, contains these ideal amino acid ratios along with calcium and bioactive peptides that support muscle contraction and recovery. When consumed strategically, they can help your body overcome the anabolic resistance that underlies muscle loss. If this explanation is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post content like this every day to help you understand what is really happening inside your body and how to take control of your metabolic health naturally. Now that we have identified the root cause of sarcopenia and the mechanism that drives it, let us move into the next section where we will explore how specific types of cheese can directly target these biological pathways and help you rebuild muscle after 60. Now that you understand the core issue behind age-related muscle loss, anabolic resistance, let us look at why certain cheeses have such a powerful effect in counteracting it. This is not about random dairy intake. It is about the biochemistry of what is inside these cheeses, how they interact with your hormones and enzymes, and why they are uniquely suited for older adults aiming to rebuild muscle. Here is what is really happening inside your body. When you consume cheese, your digestive system breaks down its proteins, mainly casein and whey, into smaller peptides and amino acids. Among these amino acids, one stands out, leucine. Leucine is like the ignition key for muscle growth. Leucine is like the ignition key for muscle growth. It directly activates the mTOR pathway in your muscle cells, the same molecular switch that tells your body start building new muscle tissue. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your muscle as a construction site. The amino acids are your building blocks. Insulin is the delivery truck bringing materials, and leucine is the foreman who gives the command to start building. Without leucine, the crew waits around with no direction. But once leucine arrives, the work begins immediately. Now, what the research shows is that the older you are, the louder leucine's signal needs to be to get your muscles to respond. Younger muscles respond with a whisper. Older muscles need a shout. Cheeses like Parmesan, Ricotta, and Cottage cheese contain that loud leucine profile that can help overcome anabolic resistance. A recent 2024 review in the Nutrients Journal examined the role of dairy proteins in preventing sarcopenia. It found that aged cheeses, especially Parmesan, have some of the highest leucine concentrations per gram of protein, along with bioactive peptides that improve muscle repair and lower inflammation. Ricotta, on the other hand, is rich in whey proteins that are rapidly absorbed, ideal for post-meal or post-exercise recovery. Cottage cheese provides a slower, steadier release of amino acids, making it perfect before bedtime when your body performs much of its cellular repair. Beyond protein, cheese delivers other benefits for muscle and metabolic health. The calcium in cheese supports muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Vitamin K2, abundant in aged cheeses, helps direct calcium into bone and muscle tissue instead of letting it accumulate in arteries. Some studies even show that cheese's unique fat matrix may enhance the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients that support muscle repair. The result is a food that not only nourishes, but also instructs your body at the molecular level to stay strong. When you eat cheese, you are not just fueling yourself, you are sending a biochemical signal to your muscle cells. Repair, rebuild, stay alive. In practical terms, this means older adults can use cheese as a strategic protein source, not an indulgence. When combined with light resistance exercise, simple bodyweight squats, resistance bands, or brisk walking, the muscle building response becomes even stronger. So, when you hear advice like eat more protein after 60, remember it is not just about quantity, it is about signal strength and timing, and cheese happens to be one of the most effective natural amplifiers of that signal. If this kind of science-based guidance resonates with you, consider subscribing. I share evidence-driven insights like this every day to help you rebuild your metabolism, protect your muscles, and age with vitality. In the next section, we will get specific. I will reveal the first of the 3 cheeses that research shows can help you rebuild muscle, improve strength, and reverse sarcopenia naturally. Let us begin with the first of our 3 muscle rebuilding cheeses, ricotta. Ricotta is far more than a creamy comfort food. At the molecular level, it is one of the richest natural sources of whey protein, and that makes it incredibly effective for restoring muscle after the age of 60. Here is what is really happening inside your body when you eat ricotta. Whey protein is rapidly digested and absorbed, flooding your bloodstream with amino acids, especially leucine, isoleucine, and valine, the 3 branch-chain amino acids that directly stimulate muscle repair. Within about 30 to 60 minutes of eating ricotta, your blood amino acid levels rise sharply. This sends a direct message to your muscle cells to activate mTOR, the growth pathway we discussed earlier. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of ricotta as the fast-acting repair kit for your muscles. When your muscle fibers are slightly damaged from everyday activity or even from mild exercise, ricotta's amino acids rush in like emergency responders, patching up the damage and laying down new, stronger fibers. What the research shows is that older adults benefit most from proteins that are digested quickly and efficiently. A 2024 study published in the Journal of Gerontology Medical Sciences found that older participants who consumed whey-rich dairy after light resistance training showed a 40% greater increase in muscle protein synthesis compared to those who consumed slower digesting or plant-based proteins. Ricotta fits this model perfectly. It is fast, complete, and rich in the exact amino acids older muscle tissue needs to respond again. But the benefits of ricotta go beyond protein. Ricotta is naturally rich in calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus, minerals that support muscle contraction and nerve signaling. It also contains small amounts of bioactive peptides, tiny fragments of protein that can lower inflammation and improve blood flow to muscle tissue. Here is how to use ricotta strategically. The optimal window for consuming it is within 1 hour after physical activity, even if that activity is gentle, like brisk walking or light resistance training. A serving of about 100 grams of ricotta provides roughly 10 to 12 grams of high-quality protein, along with a potent dose of leucine. Pair it with a small portion of fruit, such as berries or a handful of nuts, to slow digestion slightly and balance blood sugar. For those who prefer an evening option, ricotta can also be part of a protein-rich bedtime snack. When eaten before sleep, it supports overnight muscle repair during your body's natural regeneration cycle, when growth hormone levels are highest. Now, one common concern about cheese is fat content. However, what the research shows is that the fat in ricotta does not interfere with protein absorption. In fact, moderate amounts of dairy fat may support hormone balance, especially testosterone and estrogen precursors, which influence muscle strength and recovery. In summary, ricotta serves as a fast-absorbing, muscle-stimulating food that can help older adults regain strength naturally. It reawakens the body's ability to respond to protein, counteracts anabolic resistance, and supports the metabolic machinery needed to rebuild muscle. If this explanation is bringing you clarity, consider subscribing. I share evidence-based strategies like this every day to help you rebuild your metabolism, restore strength, and extend vitality. In the next section, we will explore the second cheese, cottage cheese, which works very differently from ricotta, but complements it perfectly by providing a steady, slow release of amino acids throughout the night. If ricotta is a fast-acting repair kit for your muscles, cottage cheese is the slow, steady builder that keeps your body in repair mode long after you have gone to sleep. It is one of the most underrated tools for anyone over 60 who wants to preserve or rebuild lean muscle naturally. Here is what is happening inside your body when you eat cottage cheese. Its primary protein is casein, which digests much more slowly than whey. Instead of creating a sharp spike in amino acids like ricotta does, cottage cheese provides a gradual, sustained release of amino acids into your bloodstream for 6 to 8 hours. This slow release ensures your muscles continue receiving a steady flow of building materials while you rest or sleep. Let me explain with a simple analogy. Imagine your muscles as a construction site that operates around the clock. Ricotta provides the initial burst of materials during the day, the quick delivery truck. Cottage cheese, on the other hand, supplies a steady overnight shipment so that the repair work never stops. What the research shows is that this slow, continuous delivery of amino acids is especially valuable during sleep, when your body performs most of its tissue repair and hormonal recalibration. A study published in Frontiers in Nutrition in 2024 observed that older adults who consumed casein protein 30 minutes before bedtime experienced significantly higher overnight muscle protein synthesis compared to those who consumed no protein or a faster digesting source. Cottage cheese also has another advantage. It contains natural calcium and phosphorus, essential for muscle contraction and strength. Additionally, it provides probiotics, which can enhance gut health and improve nutrient absorption, including amino acids. A healthy gut means better digestion of proteins and improved delivery of nutrients to muscle tissue. From a hormonal perspective, the amino acids in cottage cheese can help regulate cortisol and insulin, two hormones that often become imbalanced with age. Elevated cortisol from chronic stress can accelerate muscle breakdown, while insulin resistance can blunt the muscle's ability to use amino acids effectively. Consuming cottage cheese before bed helps maintain stable blood sugar levels overnight and reduces the catabolic muscle-breaking environment that often accompanies poor sleep or skipped meals. Here's how to apply this practically. Consume 100 to 150 grams of cottage cheese about 30 to 60 minutes before sleep. If you prefer a smoother texture or added flavor, you can mix it with a small portion of crushed walnuts or a teaspoon of flaxseed. The healthy fats will slightly slow digestion even further, enhancing the sustained release effect through the night. For individuals who struggle with appetite or digestion, cottage cheese can also serve as a light evening meal replacement. It provides roughly 12 to 15 grams of high-quality protein per serving, minimal lactose, and a strong calcium to phosphorus ratio that supports both muscle and bone health. Think of this habit as a nightly ritual of restoration. Each time you consume cottage cheese before bed, you are fueling your muscles with a slow, steady stream of amino acids that counteracts the muscle-wasting effects of aging. It is simple, effective, and scientifically sound. If this insight resonates with you, consider subscribing. I post practical, science-based content like this every day to help you understand how food, hormones, and metabolism work together to rebuild strength from within. In the next section, we will explore the third cheese Parmesan, a nutrient-dense powerhouse that not only strengthens muscle, but also supports bone health and longevity through unique bioactive compounds. If ricotta is the fast-acting builder and cottage cheese is the overnight sustainer, then Parmesan is the strength amplifier. It is dense, aged, and biochemically active, a natural concentration of muscle-building and bone-supporting nutrients that work synergistically to protect your body as you age. Here is what is really happening inside your body when you consume Parmesan. Because Parmesan is aged for months, sometimes years, its proteins are partially pre-digested by beneficial bacteria. This means that when you eat it, those proteins are broken down quickly into bioavailable peptides and amino acids, especially leucine, which, as we have discussed, is the key activator of the mTOR pathway that drives muscle protein synthesis. Let me give you a simple analogy. Imagine your muscles as a factory that requires a specific code to start production. Leucine is that activation code, and Parmesan delivers it in a concentrated form. Even a small portion of Parmesan provides a powerful go signal for muscle rebuilding, particularly in older adults whose muscles have become less responsive to protein intake. A 2024 study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition compared various protein sources for older adults and found that aged cheeses like Parmesan produced a stronger anabolic response than unfermented dairy or plant-based proteins. The researchers attributed this to Parmesan's unique combination of high leucine content, easy digestibility, and its natural peptides that improve muscle cell signaling and reduce inflammation. But Parmesan's benefits do not stop with muscle tissue. It also protects your bones, which are deeply connected to muscle health. The calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin K2 found in Parmesan support bone mineral density, while the amino acids support collagen synthesis, an essential component for both muscle and bone resilience. Think of it as a dual-action nutrient. It reinforces the scaffolding bone and strengthens the engine muscle that drives your body's movement. Another key feature of Parmesan is its low lactose content. During the long aging process, lactose is broken down almost completely, making Parmesan well tolerated by individuals who struggle with dairy sensitivity. This allows older adults to gain the metabolic benefits of cheese without digestive discomfort. Here is how to use Parmesan strategically. Because of its nutrient density, you only need a small amount, around 20 to 30 grams daily, roughly 2 tablespoons of grated cheese. Sprinkle it over vegetables, soups, or salads, or add it to eggs or legumes. The fat in Parmesan slows digestion slightly, improving nutrient absorption and helping you feel more satiated, which is particularly helpful for appetite control in older adults. If you engage in light resistance training or regular walking, Parmesan can amplify your recovery response. The bioactive peptides in aged cheese have been shown to reduce exercise-induced inflammation, allowing your muscles to repair more efficiently. In practical terms, Parmesan acts like a metabolic amplifier, a small but potent tool that boosts the effects of protein intake, supports bone integrity, and strengthens the body's anabolic signals. When combined with ricotta and cottage cheese, it completes a powerful trio that targets different phases of muscle repair, rapid stimulation, sustained feeding, and structural reinforcement. If you find this kind of detailed, science-based insight useful, consider subscribing. I post content like this every day to help you use food as medicine to restore energy, muscle, and longevity naturally. In the next section, we will integrate everything you have learned into a simple, actionable muscle rebuilding protocol, combining these 3 cheeses with exercise timing, sleep, and lifestyle habits to reverse sarcopenia and reclaim strength after 60. Now that you understand how ricotta, cottage cheese, and Parmesan each support muscle health in unique ways, let us put everything together into a clear, science-based daily plan that can help you reverse sarcopenia and rebuild strength after 60. Here is what is really happening inside your body when you apply a consistent nutritional and movement protocol. Your muscles are constantly cycling between breakdown and repair, a process called muscle protein turnover. When breakdown exceeds repair, sarcopenia accelerates. When repair exceeds breakdown, your body regains lean tissue and strength. The balance depends on 3 factors: protein quality, timing, and mechanical stimulus. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your muscles as a bank account. Exercise withdraws protein. Food deposits it back. If you make regular deposits with the right kind of protein and stimulate the muscle through movement, your muscle account grows. If you stop depositing or skip resistance activity, your account slowly depletes. This is where the cheese strategy becomes powerful. Each of the 3 cheeses fits a specific time slot in your day to maintain a positive muscle balance. Morning or post-exercise, ricotta. Start your day or end your workout with 100 grams of ricotta. It provides a fast surge of amino acids to trigger mTOR activation and jumpstart muscle repair. Pair it with low glycemic fruit like berries or a small portion of oats to maintain steady energy. If you exercise in the morning, this should be your first meal afterward. Evening or before bed, cottage cheese. Consume 100 to 150 grams of cottage cheese about 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. Its slow digesting casein ensures your muscles receive a steady supply of amino acids through the night, supporting repair and hormone balance. Add a sprinkle of flaxseed or a few walnuts for healthy fats that improve amino acid retention. Midday or with meals, Parmesan. Use 20 to 30 grams of grated Parmesan to enhance your lunch or dinner. The concentrated leucine and vitamin K2 work synergistically to support both muscle and bone. Because it is aged, Parmesan provides bioactive peptides that improve nutrient signaling and digestion, making it a valuable complement to other foods. Beyond food, you must also activate the muscle itself. Nutrients alone cannot rebuild tissue unless the muscle fibers are stimulated to grow. Gentle resistance training, such as using resistance bands, lifting light weights, or performing bodyweight squats 3 to 4 times per week, can dramatically increase muscle sensitivity to amino acids. In fact, a 2024 review in the Journal of Applied Physiology concluded that even 10 to 15 minutes of resistance exercise daily can restore protein synthesis, signaling in older adults. Hydration also matters. Muscles are 75% water, and dehydration reduces protein synthesis efficiency. Aim for at least 2 liters of water daily and include electrolytes if you sweat frequently or live in a warm climate. Finally, sleep is your recovery multiplier. During deep sleep, growth hormone levels rise, cortisol drops, and your body performs much of its repair work. Consuming slow digesting proteins like cottage cheese before bed supports this natural rhythm and helps you wake up stronger and more energized. So your complete muscle restoration protocol after 60 looks like this. Morning or post-exercise. Ricotta for fast repair. Midday or with meals. Parmesan for structural support. Evening or before bed. Cottage cheese for overnight restoration. Movement. Gentle resistance exercise 3 to 4 times weekly. Sleep. 7 to 8 hours nightly for hormonal balance. If you have found this practical structure valuable, consider subscribing. I post in-depth, evidence-based protocols like this every day to help you strengthen your body, balance your hormones, and extend vitality naturally. In the next section, we will discuss how to combine these nutritional habits with broader lifestyle strategies like managing insulin, reducing inflammation, and optimizing recovery to create a long-term metabolic environment that keeps your muscles strong for life. By now, you understand that rebuilding muscle after 60 is not just about eating more protein. It is about creating the right internal environment for growth. The foods you eat, the way you move, your sleep, and even your stress levels all influence whether your body becomes anabolic building or catabolic breaking down. Let us now explore how hormones, inflammation, and lifestyle choices work together to either accelerate or block your muscle recovery. Here is what is really happening inside your body. Muscle tissue is not isolated, it is tightly connected to your hormonal network and your metabolic system. When these systems are balanced, your muscles stay sensitive to nutrients and respond quickly to amino acids. When they are disrupted by chronic stress, poor sleep, or inflammation, the body shifts into a protective mode, breaking down muscle for energy instead of building it. One of the most important hormones in this process is insulin. Many people think of insulin purely in the context of blood sugar, but in truth, it is also a growth signal. In healthy amounts, insulin helps shuttle amino acids into muscle cells, where they are used for repair. However, with age and reduced activity, the body can become insulin resistant, meaning the same amount of insulin no longer does its job effectively. When that happens, even good protein intake fails to stimulate muscle growth efficiently. What the research shows is that maintaining insulin sensitivity is critical for reversing sarcopenia. Regular resistance training and controlled carbohydrate intake, especially focusing on complex carbohydrates and fiber, help keep insulin levels steady. Pairing your cheese-based proteins with low glycemic foods such as leafy greens, nuts, or berries improves this balance and minimizes blood sugar spikes. Another key player is cortisol, your stress hormone. Cortisol is catabolic. It breaks down tissue, including muscle, when it remains elevated for long periods. Chronic psychological stress, sleep deprivation, or inflammation can all push cortisol higher, weakening your muscle building potential. Here's the encouraging part. The amino acids found in cheese, particularly tryptophan, can support serotonin balance, which helps regulate cortisol and improve sleep quality. Inflammation is the third factor to address. As we age, a low-grade chronic inflammation called inflammaging often sets in, damaging tissues and slowing recovery. Cheese, especially aged varieties like Parmesan, contains bioactive peptides that can help lower inflammatory markers by reducing oxidative stress and improving endothelial function, the health of your blood vessels. This means better circulation, better nutrient delivery, and faster muscle repair. Here is how to integrate these insights into your daily life. Number 1. Move your body daily. Even light activities such as walking or stretching after meals enhances insulin sensitivity and nutrient uptake. Number 2. Prioritize recovery. Sleep at least 7 to 8 hours each night. A lack of deep sleep disrupts testosterone, growth hormone, and insulin, all crucial for muscle maintenance. Number 3. Manage stress intentionally. Try breathing exercises, meditation, or light stretching before bed. Lowering cortisol even slightly shifts your body toward an anabolic rebuilding state. Number 4. Keep inflammation low. Avoid processed oils, refined sugars, and excessive alcohol. Instead, favor anti-inflammatory fats like olive oil, avocados, and fatty fish. When combined with the nutrients in cheese, this supports a stable hormonal environment for growth. Think of this as a triangle of strength, nutrition, movement, and recovery. Each side supports the others. If one side weakens, say you eat well but do not sleep enough, the structure collapses. But when all three are aligned, your body becomes a self-repairing, self-renewing system again, even well past 60. If this breakdown of hormonal and lifestyle balance is resonating with you, consider subscribing. I post content like this every day, helping you understand not only what to eat, but how your entire physiology works together to sustain energy, muscle, and longevity naturally. In the next section, we will bring everything together, summarizing the core insights from this entire talk and outlining the exact steps you can take starting today to rebuild your muscle, restore your energy, and extend your health span naturally. At this point, you have a clear understanding of how specific foods, particularly ricotta, cottage cheese, and Parmesan, work within your physiology to rebuild muscle. But now, let us connect the dots. Because true transformation after 60 is not about any single food or supplement. It is about creating a consistent, intelligent rhythm between your meals, your movement, and your recovery. Here is what is really happening inside your body when you bring these factors together. Each day, your metabolism is constantly sensing signals from nutrients, from hormones, and from mechanical tension in your muscles. When those signals are aligned, the body moves into what I call a growth permissive state, where insulin is balanced, inflammation is low, amino acids are circulating, and repair enzymes are active. That is the environment in which muscle thrives, fat metabolism improves, and energy returns. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body as an orchestra. Nutrition, exercise, and recovery are the three main instruments. If one plays out of tune, say you eat well but never move, the entire composition sounds off. But when all three play in harmony, your physiology performs beautifully. Nutrition provides the raw materials, amino acids, calcium, magnesium, and vitamins like K2 from your chosen cheeses. Exercise provides a signal. It tells the body where to send those materials. Recovery, sleep, rest, and stress management provides the environment where the rebuilding actually happens. You need all three in sequence for growth to occur. A 2024 paper published in the Journal of Aging and Metabolic Health found that when older adults combined leucine-rich dairy proteins with light resistance training and consistent sleep patterns, they regained up to 2 kilograms of lean muscle in 12 weeks without the use of supplements or medications. This demonstrates that the synergy between diet, exercise, and rest is far more powerful than any single intervention alone. So here is how to integrate everything practically. Morning or post-workout, begin your day with movement. Something simple, like a brisk walk, bodyweight squats, or light dumbbell exercises. Within 30 to 60 minutes afterward, eat a serving of ricotta to trigger fast muscle repair. Midday or afternoon, maintain nutrient flow with balanced meals that include vegetables, healthy fats, and a serving of Parmesan. Its high leucine and calcium content will help reinforce muscle structure and bone integrity. Evening or before bed. As your body prepares to repair overnight, have a serving of cottage cheese to sustain amino acid levels during sleep. Pair it with calming habits, dim lights, deep breathing, or reading to lower cortisol and maximize recovery. If you miss a workout, still maintain your protein timing. Your muscles respond not just to exercise, but to consistency of nutrition. Over time, these small daily actions retrain your physiology to stay anabolic, to build instead of decline. Beyond food and exercise, focus on oxygen and circulation. Deep breathing, walking outdoors, and hydration keep oxygen delivery high, which your muscles need for energy metabolism and repair. And finally, approach this process with patience. Sarcopenia develops slowly, and reversing it also takes time. But the science is clear, even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s. Your body retains the full capacity to grow stronger when given the right conditions. So your daily rhythm becomes a living prescription. Move your body to activate, eat strategically to rebuild, rest deeply to regenerate. If this integrated approach makes sense to you, consider subscribing. I post content like this every day, helping you understand how small, consistent actions create long-term metabolic health, strength, and vitality. In the final section, we will conclude by summarizing the essential lessons and outlining the simple next steps you can take today to start rebuilding your strength and protecting your longevity. Let us bring everything together. You have learned that muscle loss after 60, what we call sarcopenia, is not an inevitable part of aging. It is a physiological imbalance. And like most imbalances, it can be corrected. The key is understanding how your body actually works, how hormones, amino acids, and cellular signaling pathways like mTOR determine whether your body builds or breaks down tissue.